Okay, so our first question says, how does L1 impact the oral language development of L2? So by L1, they mean the first language, a native language of the student. L2 is the language that they're trying to learn. So our ELL students, our English language learning students, their L1 is their native language, whatever it may be, maybe Spanish, German, who knows. And then their L2 would be English. So first of all, one of the ways it can impact is pronunciation. This can affect how the second language will sound, kind of like their accent maybe could impact it. Paralinguistic elements that are used in communication, like eye contact, volume, distance between speakers, other like social norms, those can be heavily impacted by peers. Another example would be code switching. So that means like alternating between the different languages. And then a third example is code shifting. That means that learners change how they present themselves to show multiple affinities. And our fourth one is phonology, prosody, and syntax from the L1 that can really interfere with the L2. Our next question was, what are essential aspects to consider for development of oral communication in sequential language acquisition? Oh man, that was hard. Okay, so first it says that one of them is recognizing continual language learning is essential for content learning. So pretty much just saying that the continual language learning really impacts the content learning. So even though you're in math class, you still need to teach how to say those math words, not only the content, but the still continuing to learn how to use that language. The second one is oral contempancy can enhance literacy and vice versa. So the oral contempancy can enhance literacy, and the literacy can enhance oral contempancy. It just kind of depends how they're going to use that in class. The third one is language and content learning can improve with creative activities. So this is super fun. Teachers really can get creative with this and just use a lot of different activities and lesson plans to kind of help. But it's kind of like the more creative the teacher can get, the more it's going to benefit the student, because you can't always just learn from writing and reading things out. You really need to have those creative lesson plans, like labeling things, or just like making out like a grocery store and kind of just interacting in that, just kind of like in class and learning your vocabulary that way, just fun different ways. The fourth one is collaborative exploration of subject matter aids both oral discourse and content learning. And our fifth example of this is that classroom dynamics matter. So this kind of means all the students need to be held accountable. They all need to be given the opportunity to speak and to be heard. So if you're going to pull kids to read out loud in front of the class and a certain kid is not comfortable with that, that's fine, but they still need to be given the opportunity to speak out loud and to feel heard. Thank you for listening.